Greetings, ladies and gentlemen players. It is August, a Friday in 2020, and that makes it a wonderful day for basics. I'm over here on Fox, and as you can see by the black bar, I will be hiding my name. And today we are doing something special. One, as you may have noticed, I don't have RTX voice on, so you're going to be hearing various background stuff as per your recommendation. And I'm also going to be trying to build today. Now, do bear in mind, it's going to be hit or miss. We're going to try to build, but it's not always up to us because Go, weirdly enough, is a two-player game. I don't always get to decide what I get to do. But that's the goal for this month, so let's see how it works out.
Start to play.
Alright, got a game. I am black. Now, immediately, I don't have to play 4 points in order to build, but I can if I want to. Now, the easiest way to build is to just smack down a framework and build that way. However, I do not want to do that. That is a little bit too, shall we say, too easy. Too easy. Instead, I'm going to approach and back off. I also don't like Kobayashi. Approaching the 4-4 here and backing off this way is also really, really strong. If you know what you're doing. But I just prefer to avoid the whole Kobayashi thing. Now here, if I want to build, I need to pincer. So let's go ahead and just pick a pincer here, like so. I'm going to pick a high pincer and not a low pincer because low is more for territory, with some exceptions. And high is a little bit better for actually trying to build. Okay, this is a little strange. I don't see this very often. By that I mean at all. The Hane here is fantastic. It means he gets my corner and I get the outside, so I will take that exchange immediately. He's connecting. I would actually accept a draw. This early on in the game, if he clicked draw, I would have accepted it. Except I don't have the ability to actually offer a draw. How odd. Maybe he can't. Maybe he couldn't. Either way, I'm going to connect. Atari him back. And then I will Hane here, I do believe, just to ensure that my cutting point is protected. And now we have the influence. I can Hane here, because if he cuts, seems fine. Now, he could cut here and then cut here. Little strange. We're not going to worry about it. All right, then. So, I have Sentei. Got some influence here. I can deny the enclosure. But this is more of a territorial kind of spiel rather than a buildy kind of spiel. So, I'm going to continue building, I think. I could do this one for a framework. This is completely acceptable. But I will jump up here as well. This is also fine. Reason being, I have a continuation like so. And if I'm being brutally honest, I had a feeling he was about to give me a huge wall the minute I didn't close anyway. Sorry, that's true. Alright, so he's going to my corner. I will Hane and play old school like I usually do. No reason to be jealous of him taking a couple of points off of here and giving me a insane amount of influence. He's making the old school exchange, which makes this kind of worse for wear for white, but that's a-okay. This is a move that you treat as if it doesn't even exist. So I'm going to continue playing large points right now. I'm taking a high approach because, again, I'm still thinking about building. When they kick, you usually drop down immediately. There's no real rhyme or reason for playing anything differently. That is a greedy move. Speaking of greedy moves, I have a lot of interesting options for moves that I can play right now, and I do not have my pen tool. Come here, pen tool. Let's highlight some of these for the good old folks at home, or wherever they are. The turn here is pretty strong because it develops here. The shoulder hit is pretty strong because it kind of ties all my stones together. And last but not least, something like this is also pretty strong to cut off the middle stone. I'm leaning towards this one to connect, or this one to cut off. If I cut off, he could still try to wedge through here, which is why I'm currently thinking about it. And if I get to just drop down, that is good buildy action as well. So, picked up the shoulder hit. My stones are now nice and useful. I also want to highlight there is a forcing move there too. That move I'm not really sure about. I'm going to extend to make sure that this is nicely connected. Now, I could play here, but I don't see any particular reason for it. And instead, we're going to... Well, I could actually just take in that 8th line territory, to be brutally honest. What is that? 8 across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that checks out as being pretty big. That checks out as being pretty big, man. Instead, we're going to cut him off like so. And continue with plan A. If you wanted to bug out right now and say, you know what? This is solid, he can't come in from this way. This is solid, he can't come in from this way. That would be A-OK. And right now, what do you know? I still can do it if I wanted to. Isn't that nice? Now, I want to potentially split these stones apart and start profiting. But to do that, I need to make my little guy over here nice and strong. If he's not strong, he can't do a little splitty action here, and that would make us sad. So here's what I'm going to do. It's a little bit subpar. I should invade instead and Hane on the inside. This way should be a little bit easier to follow for everyone, however. I'm just going to attach here, extend back like so. So easy, so easy. Okay. Pushing and cutting is pretty strong here. And notice that I now have a solid wall. I gave him a little bit more than I would be ideally comfortable with, but that's okay. So now we can see that I've got a nice solid wall here and a nice solid wall here, and he has a 2-space. From here, I could do a little bit of a pokey action over here to build the top, because again, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th line territory, still really, really big. But for those of you who might also want to use this to attack, you could just as easily take note of the fact that a 2-space extension is not solid. We've seen that from the Legend 88 games, and so we could do something like checking the ladders, ladder checks out, checking the ladders, ladder checks out. Therefore, I can attach to here. Okay. This one's a little tough. I mean, I don't see any reason not to Tatari here. Yeah, I don't really see it. Not sure what he's going for, really. Go ahead and take. Seems fine still. Okay. Now we're not going to get greedy. Just take all of whatever that is. Seems good. He has to be very, very careful. But for the moment, my ladder still checks out. So I can play here. Before playing something like, I don't know, the Hane, I guess? Seems like we're building in the middle, like, insanely quickly. The Atari is fine. The drop-down's about to kill. Again, check out the ladder. Ladder seems like it's still doing great things for me. Can I Atari and live in his corner? That's actually interesting. We're gonna Atari this just for safety's sake. And then I think... What do we do? What do we do? I guess we just play here, huh? If he pushes here, we just Hane and it's fine. Now I'm going to play something and I'm going to confess I inadvertently read it. You could play here. I didn't think about this. I might play here and sacrifice the left because I just read something out. It's a possibility. I'll play here, it's fine. There is a cut. That's true. Guys, be careful though. Just be a little bit careful though. Oh, snap. He's just gonna let that happen? So if he cut here, what happens is I would have likely played the Atari. He connects, then I cut. The Atari's down, he Ataris himself, so he has to Atari this way, and this way, and this way, and then again. So that got killed. Be trading that for that. Now, I still think this is kind of small compared to the entire rest of the board, so I'm not really going to let myself be too concerned about what's going on there. Instead, I'm going to play here to reinforce and solidify this area. All of this is now happy territory. I'm going to turn to make sure he can't connect this up, and we're likely going to kill this little stone. We don't have to. I could connect here. Hane seems fine. He can't really cut, so we're all good. If he cuts, we has Atari down, then follow it, and it's okay. Our shape here is nice and strong for such things. He's offering me the top of it again, so fine by me. I will happily accept that offer. Always looking to profit with what I have. And we take. And I guess I'm going to connect here. I could play this one. Nah, let's go ahead and connect. It's fine. No problems there at all as far as I'm aware. Now, if he plays here, it looks like it gets a little awkward. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and Atari like so. Getting this nice amount of points. He's probably going to cut me, and I'll go ahead and take. Just like so. And keep him out of my middle. We could get a Ko here. I changed mine, I'm going to Hane. Now this entire top side of the board, along with the left-hand side, seems like it's mine. And part of the reason why we were able to do that is because never once were we jealous of what our opponent was making for himself, or what our opponent was trying to do. So I'm not going to click Score Estimator, but I'm fairly confident that I am ahead this game. This dies. It has no Aji to work from, like, at all. I'll just go ahead and cap it. Make sure it can't get the normal eye shapes that you would expect. Make sure that we remain nicely connected as well. That's also very important. So maybe something like... here, I guess, huh? No little one-point attachments for eye shapes. There is no living in here as long as we're very, very careful on what we're doing. Connect solidly should do it. Here, here, here. I mean, that seems fine. I expect him to go back and play this one. He should take what he's been offered. Seems fine. He plays here. I can play here, into here, or just take. I mean, whatever. It's all good. Now, he might have hit the score estimator and seen that if he does take that, he loses the game. It's hard to say. He's hitting me, so I will respond, I suppose. He's going to Hane again, because he does that a lot. Or maybe that. Okay, whatever. It's fine. I'll just make sure that my shape is fine. He can't cut me ever. See, we're just combating... We're just combating... whatever he's trying to do with making good shape for ourselves. That's all we have to do. He cannot live here unless we give him a lot of Aji to work against. So as long as we have nice strong shape, he doesn't have Aji to work against, so there's no way for him to make an eye. Like right now, we can't point to a single eye shape he can make on this board. And that's really what we're looking for. Where are the eye shapes? Where can we imagine him making a single eye? Hard to say, man. Hard to say. Nice threat of the double whatever. Double Atari. Notice I'm making myself nice and strong here. He still doesn't have a single eye. Still not a single eye. He could play here. Then he'll have one. Maybe not anymore. Okay, so it looks like he's trying to do something weird here. I'll just pull back. It's all good. But yes, this is nicely dead. Atari. Make sure we're nicely connected here. Nicely connected here as well. Okay, that would be an Atari. And I'll just go ahead and make sure that's nicely connected. Or you could have taken either or, it doesn't really matter. But you see how I'm constantly increasing my liberty counts, making sure that my shapes are fine. And he resigned. Reason why he resigned, he is currently 60 points down. He is currently 60 points down, which is why he resigned. Even if he decided to cut here, this is not worth 60 points. So the question becomes, how on earth did we do this? Well, we go back to the start of the game. I decided to just build, and he approached me. Nothing inherently bad about that. I built. This was hit or miss. He has my corner, so I imagine the AI is probably not too unhappy with that. So, okay, he lived in my corner. Sure, whatever. Made sure I can't expand here. So far, not doing too bad. I built. He 3-3'd me. That was the start of all of his problems. If he had just played something like this one, I might have kicked, for example. In which case, I'm not going to get the same building that I did in the game. Only reason I was able to build in the game is because he insisted on 3-3ing me. That was apparently a really terrible decision for him. Because he needs to be on point with that reduction. He thought the reduction was going to be 10 gen. Another reason why I banned that in my Twitch chat is because of things like this. Tengen was very, very close to passing. This isn't strong against my framework. It's not forcing. It's just not threatening in any way, shape, or form. So I keep what I've got right now, and I have Sente. Well, I didn't have Sente before. So all of that is fantastic. I get to approach, he kicks me, I'm building again. I'm also cutting off this ability to go left for safety. It is now, he needs another move in the middle of the board. He needs to be careful of that though. If I still manage to get solid here, I could still cut through here. So he's got to be very, very careful. The middle is tricky. The middle is very, very tricky. So I shoulder hit here. I cut this off. He takes notice, but unfortunately, he made a 2 space, which is even easier to cut through. So from here, I just make sure that this is nice and strong. Now that I'm nice and strong, I cut through. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. You can just as easily do this one too. And then maybe you just don't even fight here. You get something like this done. You're up by a nice calm 36 points, or more. The middle needs to be careful still because it's still not alive, but you get the idea. You're doing pretty well for yourself at this point. This still needs to live, which means he can't play over here. He probably is going to, but if you play something weird over here, let's just represent it by this, then what you'll notice here is he doesn't have shape in the middle of the board. So this could potentially wind up all getting killed still. After this, it was just game over in my opinion. I wasn't sure if I was sacrificing it, but I figured there was a non-zero chance. And from here, yeah, that's just it. He could go ahead and cut through here. I'll just go ahead and maybe play something over here. And then the entire middle is mine, and we're up by way more. Let's see. What is this? It says black's up by 21, and it's for some reason not giving me the dead center of this. So, whatever. You get the idea. You get the idea. Well, that was certainly a game, and it was nice and buildy too, on Fox. I love it. Let's continue building in this wonderful month of August.